Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariana. For those of y'all that know me, hello, how are you? And for those of y'all that don't, this is a channel where I talk about life. I talk about my life. I talk about things I do. I do a plethora of things. So I just pray that you just buckle up and join me on my journey. I'm also thinking about van life. You see me in my van. I'm about ready to set that up and get it prepared for my adventures on the road. But right now, I want to just talk about trading. 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 And when I think about trading, I'm thinking about trading as in finding something that you have that you may be willing to trade to someone else for something they may have. This is what trading is all about. Because back in my day, y'all, I am 65 years old, so we learned to trade a lot of things back then. We would trade stuff like cars. We would trade stuff like lawnmowers for scooters. We would trade stuff like bicycles for lawnmowers. We would trade stuff like clothing for other people's clothing. Maybe your child has outgrown some things and you may have some things that you can share with somebody else, and you may be able to trade and swap back and forth. These type of things is what we can do in this day and time to be able to help our family and to be able to help support our families with the things that we need. Even if you take some of these things and you begin to figure out how you can flip them, as they say. Back in my time, we would say flip things. We would buy things sometimes from flea markets. We would buy things from yard sales. We would buy things and we would flip those things, trade those things. I also have bought storage units back in the day, and I have sold the contents of those storage units to make extra income when I was raising my kids, for my family to be able to take care of myself. I've also bought things at yard sales, and I'd set up yard sales of my own and make extra money. You would just, if you could find something that you could sell, it's better to sell. If you can find some things that you could trade to help you get where you need to be, it's good to trade. The barter system has always been something good, has always been something that worked, and it always was something that kept the people engaged. It will also help you to be able to continue to keep building your life, looking for things that are going to help you through this life, looking for things like, if you got tomatoes and I got cucumbers, we could trade, we could share. If you've grown corn and say somebody else has grown cabbage, they could trade, they could share. It's called the barter system. Sometimes you may not always have that coin to be able to go buy what it is you need, but being able to learn how to trade, learn how to build a community where you can trade some things. You may have some meat, they may have some potatoes. I mean, you got to be able to find things that work out for you in this economy, the way things are today. I'm learning that trading is coming back. Trading is beginning to be more desirable. Trading is really what we need to do in the land. I know the big wigs have been trading all their life, but for us that are trying to make it, for us that are trying to grow in life, for us that are trying to find our way still, even at this age, you still need some people in your corner, in your circle, that you could connect with, that you could trade with, that you could actually share things with. And they may have some bread. Hey, you may know how to make bread. Y'all could come together and just build a business like that, just because they got some bread already and you know how to make something, but you don't have the contents to make it, but they do. So you could go over there and lend a hand. It's all about try to be a blessing to each other. Let's just put it that way. Trading is something that we found that worked for us back in the day. Even right down to trading shoes for jeans, trading hair bows for rubber bands. I mean, we used to trade all kinds of stuff. And the children, as we grew up, we learned how to trade as well, because our parents used to trade a lot of things. My mother used to always trade working, like picking chickens and picking ducks and picking things like that for meat for our table. We would do the work for somebody else, but in return they would give us some chickens that we had picked for them for our table as well. And that's the trading system. You do something for them, they do something for you. It can't be living in a world where one always reaps the benefits, but they're never willing, ready, or able to help someone else. This is a trading system world that we live in. It's time for us to learn how to go back to trading to be able to help one another. A lot of times you might look at your local paper. You might see things on Craigslist or different places in the news, or different places in the newspaper. Or online, because I know they're getting away from the printed paper or whatever of the newspaper. But back in the day, we had the Delaware State News, so we could look in there and see what people were trading, what they were willing to trade. And even if you see something in there that you may like today, let's bring it up to today. You've got Craigslist, you've got Marketplace, you've got all these, you got Etsy, you've got all these different places, eBay, you got all these different places where people are selling things. Those are the people that may even have things that they may want to trade if you let them know what you have. You may have an old car or something that they may really want to restore. They may have an old tractor of equal value. It's all about the equal value of something when it comes down to trading. And then sometimes it don't have to be about the equal value. They may just trade it for you because they want it. Maybe they're not in a financial crisis. Maybe they're not financially depleted. Maybe you may really have to have that money that you have to have for what it is that you're trying to trade. But you just don't know. You never really know if you don't put yourself in a position to be able to let somebody know that you are willing to trade. You are willing to trade. So you could trade time. You know what I'm saying? I will watch your kids, and you watch today, you watch my kids next week. I will make it so that you and your husband can go out to dinner. I'll keep the kids. I'll make sure they're fed. You just drop them off at a certain time. But when you're trading with people, please respect people in the midst of your trading, so that you can continue to have that network, and you continue to keep working together and building a strong community of where you can trade things with one another. You may have to trade a day where you go pick the kids up from soccer practice with the other soccer moms that are already there. It will save you gas, it will save you time, but yet it'll give y'all a chance to network, and it'll give your kids a chance to be able to be around each other, to be able to have friends, to be able to have somebody to talk with. Because ever since 2020, I've noticed there's been a breakdown in the communication, where people are communicating with one another, and people are still afraid to connect, or afraid to ask people to do things for them, or ask people for something. Well, if it's so you're living in that right now, which we all are, maybe it would be better for you to think of what it is that you would be willing to trade for what it is that you're asking for. If you're looking for somewhere to live, for example, and you may not have enough money to pay the rent, you may only have half of what they're asking. Can you trade that extra for some time of you cleaning up, or you cutting the grass, or you putting in some work to trade your time and your energy, your effort for the extra? If you're already paying $2,000 somewhere else and they charge you $1,000, so that is a blessing right there. But in the midst of you getting that blessing, can you trade some of your time in the midst of there and help them around that place, wherever it is? Can you put that time in? Can you put that work in? Can you actually trade some things to get some things? Maybe you may be coming to somebody, you don't have no money at all right now, but you have the ambition and the drive to be able to get up and go get some money. While you're in that transition period, can you trade labor for your room and board? Whatever it is that you feel you can put your hand to. The word teaches us that God will bless the works of your hand. So that just lets me know, as it did for me to put my hands to whatever it is I could do to help someone else and to help myself first and foremost. Because when you're out here and you're looking for somebody to trade with, you're looking for somebody to trade with, but that person that you're trading with also is looking for help as well. They're also looking for a return on their investment. They're also looking for a way to be able to build their own life. So therefore, you got to make it to the point where if they come through with what they're promising you and what they're trading, you also got the trade of equal value, equal time, equal labor, equal responsibility to what it is that you're trading and who you're trading with. It's simple. It's simple. Don't be one of the people that is an odd-minded person who's always trying to get somebody to take care of you, get somebody to cater to you, get somebody to give you what you need, give somebody so you can just take it and run like a mouse stealing cheese off a trap without being able to pour back into that person. Don't try to leave them empty and depleted. Don't try to drain that person from all the energy that they have while they're in the midst of a trading war themselves. We're all in the midst of a trading war, whether you know it or not. So it's like saying, I'm looking for people that I can trade with, You know, you have land, they may know how to run the tiller. They may have a tiller. You see what I'm saying? And you want to plant, they may come and help you plant so that they can also eat, so they can reap some of that harvest, so they can reap some of what you're planting, what you're putting in the ground. We all can eat together. It's not for one to have the land, one to go plant, one to go buy the roller tiller, one to do all the work, and then here everybody comes wanting to eat. That is very disrespectful, hurtful, and harmful to the people that are around them and to the people that are around you, because the people around you will see this and they will see that this is the type of person that you are, this is the type of person you want to be, and they would not want to trade with you. They would not want to trade with you because you're not allowing people to see the genuineness in you, that you're willing to be an equal partner where it comes to trading. Trading is a beautiful thing. I have been trading all my life. I know how to trade because I know how to respect other people. I know how to respect their things. I know how much they need for their things. If it's so I could not afford what they're trading with, I will let them know. If I could not afford it, I will let them know this is really a beautiful piece. This is something that's really nice. I really would love to have it, but right now I don't have anything that I can trade for equal value or up to that value of what that is. But if it's something that I really want to work towards and they're willing to allow me to work towards it for a little bit. But that's another thing, you can't hold people's stuff up for long. If they give you a 2-week time period to be able to get whatever it is you need to trade with them for that period of time, then you need to understand that